Dear friend, it saddens me to hear that you prefer to be alone, that you find peace in your own company. I may never fully understand why. Nobody should be alone. Nobody should have no one to share stories with, no one to laugh with, no one to carry the weight of pain, fear, and sadness alongside them. Everybody deserves somebody. Perhaps it is simply the way you are. Perhaps you are naturally more comfortable in solitude. Perhaps you genuinely do better on your own. Or perhaps it has less to do with who you are and more to do with the people around you. Maybe it is simply a choice you have made. I do not think you dislike people. I think you dislike the way people make you feel. I think you dislike the feeling that you must become a different version of yourself whenever you are around them. The feeling that who you truly are is not enough. The feeling that you must perform, adapt, and fit into expectations that were never your own. In all honesty, I do not believe this is entirely their fault. I'm sorry to say that, but I think part of the responsibility belongs to you. You are hiding. Nobody truly knows who you are. Nobody knows what you think. Nobody knows what you feel. Nobody sees the parts of yourself that you keep locked away. And because of that, people can only understand the version of you that you allow them to see. They try to connect with you. They try to talk with you. They try to understand you in the only way they know how. Yet they always seem to get you wrong. Not because they are incapable of understanding you, not because they do not care, but because you never truly allow them to know you. If you hide yourself from the world, you cannot blame the world for misunderstanding you. I believe fear sits at the center of all this. I think you fear that you are too much, too strange, too unusual, too different. I think you fear that your opinions, your values, your dreams, and the way you see life make you stand apart from everyone else. And perhaps you worry that if people were to see the real you, they would judge you for it, that they would see you as different, that they would reject you. Most of all, I think you fear that you would no longer be loved. And so, you choose solitude, not because it is what you truly want, but because it feels safer. Safer to be alone than misunderstood. Safer to be alone than judged. Safer to be alone than rejected. Safer to be alone than vulnerable. You tell yourself that being alone is freedom, that you do not need anyone, that you are happiest in your own company.
Yet, I wonder if there is another reason. Perhaps this has everything to do with how you understand love. Maybe you believe love is earned through being agreeable, through being gentle, through avoiding conflict, through never making people uncomfortable. Perhaps you have convinced yourself that love is something fragile, something that disappears the moment you reveal the parts of yourself that others may not like. So you become careful. You soften your opinions. You hide your convictions. You silence parts of yourself. You avoid confrontation. You avoid disagreement. You avoid anything that might threaten the approval of others. And eventually, you begin to disappear behind the version of yourself you have created.
I do not pretend to understand love completely. I do not know whether love is conditional or whether people must behave in certain ways to receive it. But I do know this. You hate pretending. You hate swallowing your thoughts. You hate being unable to speak your mind. You hate hiding your true opinions simply to keep the peace. And deep down, you are exhausted by carrying a version of yourself that is not real. The tragedy is that the very thing you desire most is the thing you are afraid to do. You want to be seen. You want to be understood. You want to be accepted. But acceptance can only happen when there is something real to accept.
You cannot spend your life hidden and expect to be known. You cannot remain silent and expect to be understood. You cannot stay lost and expect someone to find you. The only way forward is to learn how to be yourself around other people, to speak your mind, to reveal the thoughts you usually keep hidden, to share the parts of yourself that nobody has ever seen. I know that is frightening. Even as you listen to these words, I imagine fear rising inside you. The fear of rejection, the fear of judgment, the fear of being misunderstood, the fear of being hurt, the fear that everything might change once people see who you really are.
And perhaps some things will change. Some people may not understand. Some people may walk away. Some people may judge. But if you want relationships that are genuine, relationships built on truth rather than performance, then there is no other path. You must take the risk. You must allow yourself to be known. You must step out from behind the illusion. You must put your whole self into the world, fully, honestly, and without apology. Because while solitude can offer peace, only authenticity can offer connection. And every person, including you, deserves both. Yours sincerely, a friend.